It's your girl, Jasmine.
And I'm the man with the better voice, the number one choice to keep all the ladies moist, DJ Just Effects. So we haven't done this in a couple of weeks. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. The little break was good. I missed you, but it was good.
That's right. I missed you too. And that brought up this first topic, the sex toys. So since when you're missing your lover, do you use sex toys or do you use sex toys with your lover?
Both. I don't think if you're in a relationship, you should get rid of the sex toys. This is for men and for women. I think even if you're in a relationship, it's fun to keep things exciting. It's okay to still masturbate, like you should. That's, self-love.
That's right.
So, and sometimes, sex, sometimes it is great and there's a lot of different levels to it, but sometimes you just need to get there quick yourself and you need to get on about your day. Like, I know for me, masturbation helps me focus.
Nice.
So I think and it gives me like an empowering energy feeling, where I think for men, it can be a little bit different. I do like you guys orgasm and all the life is taken out of you.
Oh yeah.
And me, I get more empowered. So I think it's a little bit different for the sexes at times. So for me, if I'm gonna have a big meeting, I would probably do that before, and I get more empowered. But I think maybe a man might wait and hold off, and then
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, we would. We'd go to sleep. But it reminds me of a Seinfeld episode where George Costanza stops masturbating, stops having sex, and he becomes really intelligent and productive because it's true.
I always say this. I have this conversation with people all the time, and it's my theory. But I'm just like, we're so mixed up in this world, especially because of the patriarchy has been in charge for so long, and they set the tone for stuff. They've suppressed women's sexuality to stop them from embracing their own power within themselves, and they told men to actually embrace their sexuality, which you guys should be the one sustaining. That's where your power comes in.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should be the one that should be a little bit on the opposite end, but it's the complete, we're doing the complete opposite things. And for men, I have noticed that, like, guys that withstand, they get a lot more creative. They're able to focus on stuff more, and with women, when they start masturbating more and every day, they become empowered. They get a lot of energy. They're a lot more level-headed. So yeah.
They even have I know they've done studies where women obtain some sort of testosterone once they have sex with a man. They get their energy, their testosterone, maybe like a Black Widow when after she has sex with the man, she just eats him. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, men are scared of that. I mean, men have always been scared of women. But to bring it back, yes, sex toys are super important. So many couples I know are like, oh, my man's intimidated if he saw a dildo in my drawer, he saw this and that, and it's like, hey, why not bring the dildo in? Like that, you can stimulate one area while you're fucking the other. There's no limit sometimes to orgasms for a woman. So don't suppress that. Your woman's gonna love you even more if you're willing to do all that stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you about, I had this relationship with this girl, and I was only her second sexual partner, and she was so used to using her vibrator that she couldn't come with me alone. And I'm putting in my hard work, putting my dedication in, stroking and stroking and stroking. And then I couldn't get her there. She needed that vibrator. And so she said, I need my vibrator. I said, okay, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I want to get you there. But if I can't get you there, let's still get you there, because I'm a team player. I want, it's no fun if she can't get off. I get off when they get off.
A lot of men have been taught that sex is just about them and their orgasm. So it's good when you hear other men talk like that, because that's why a lot of men, they're like, don't bring that in here. They don't care about, it's all about me. It is the mentality usually.
Well, it's emasculating because you're like, oh, I can't get it done. I can't get it done, just me. And so you're kind of shrink.
But that's ego. It's not about you. You know
that's
what
true.
I mean? So that's the first thing people need to take it out of. Sex is complex, and especially for a woman, our bodies are complex. You can have orgasms in multiple places, But we also live in a society where sex is like, for a woman, we're told to repress those feelings and that urge, especially, depending on the ethnicity you're dating, depending on the religious background, or what country they're from. You don't know what they've been taught. So it's kind of hard. Sometimes it's all mental for certain women, and then they've learned how to do something a certain way, and that's just their comfort zone. So I think a lot of men need to be more patient and realize, take your fucking ego out of it, and it's not about you.
Yeah. Well, I'm all about the woman getting hers. I like to get her first before I feel comfortable getting mine. That's how I work.
Well, with this one, it was complicated.
Yeah. Oh, it was rough because I thought most of the time I can get it done by myself. I didn't need help.
Yeah, but even still, it's not even about that. It's fun to shake it up. If you're gonna be in a long relationship, I'm sorry, like, you're gonna need stuff like that too. And even so, if you want to even do that in the beginning, if you're just like, adventurous in the bedroom, why not?
Why not try it?
But I want to pull it back to you. How do you feel about like bringing male sex toys into the bedroom?
Look, I'll tell you honestly, I've tried a cock ring, okay, and it vibrated and it did its thing, and I'm thick like a can of Pepsi, so it was a little. However they designed it for the regular Joe, it was a little tight, so I couldn't get my whole,
I think
the
they
blood
run
flow.
like that. I think they run like that.
Yeah, I couldn't get the full blood flow, but I tried it though. I'm not afraid sexually. I'm into it.
But does that do anything for the man, or is that all for the female?
Well, I think because it's vibrating, I think when you're inside the female, there's a certain amount of vibration that stimulates the clitoris.
Yeah, but that's
too.
what I mean. Does it do anything for you? Not really.
Well, it felt good because it was on my testicles, and so I was
okay.
I was getting a little vibrating love.
I can see that, and I guess the pressure, like because it's like squeezes. What about bringing in like a fleshlight?
I've never done that, but look, if Veronica Rodriguez has a fleshlight or Luna Star has a fleshlight,
Veronica definitely has a fleshlight.
I'll try it. I've never tried one, but I'll try it. I'll even do it on.
It's the best product out there, so.
Yeah, I'll do it even on.
So you're fine with that, bringing that in?
I've never done it, but I would do it. Absolutely, okay. I would.
All right.
And
letting a woman use it on you?
Absolutely, why not?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I feel like a lot of men would try to be cool and be like, oh, no, I wouldn't. And it's like, not saying you don't masturbate is not cool. Like, I don't even know how that even started as a trend, but it's not cool to say that. Like,
I get mine in.
To me, it's like, I think something's wrong with you. Like, you don't love yourself. You're ashamed of your body. Like, if I don't want to touch myself, why the fuck should somebody else be touching me is the question.
Absolutely.
If you're weird about your own body, like, and we have urges. What are you going to do? This is why I think like rape and shit. Well, no, some of them, these people are just deranged. But I mean, some people, like, they're taught such shame about stuff. They feel like they have to have access to a woman's body. And it's like, no, bitch, go use your hand.
Yeah.
Go over there and figure it out, or use a toy.
Oh yeah, I'm all.
There's a lot of synthetic vaginas out there. Get yours in.
Yeah, I need to try one. I get a lot of vagina on my own, but but when I don't, I get real vagina, but I mean, but when I don't though, before I go to bed, if I didn't get some vagina that day, I'll crank it. Yeah.
It has to be an everyday thing.
It's an everyday thing for me. Every day.
Oh my God.
In
so
Spanish,
you're masturbating every day then?
No. But that's why I need one of those fleshlights. I need to get one of those.
I might be able to hook you up with that next week.
That's right. Well, speaking of mentally deranged people, Britney Spears just won her court case.
She is not mentally deranged.
So
scale it back.
Okay. What do we think about her?
I'm a Britney defender.
I love Britney. She's 1981 like me.
Is she 1981?
Yeah, she's my same age. I love her.
I did not know that.
I love Britney.
And she's a Sagittarius.
Sagittarius are good.
They're always a little on the wild side.
I like Sag.
I was very happy that she was able to like somewhat be. It's not official yet. When that ruling happens, there's 45 days for the judge to declare it official. So.
But she won the initial case.
Yes, which is great, and I think it's the help of her army. And I mean, I live in downtown. I mean, even that day that that ruling came out, I just saw a bunch of people outside walking the streets. They had Britney signs on, shirts.
That's right.
And people, she's had a lot of support. And the thing is this, even if she is bipolar, I know it. I work with people that are bipolar. I have family members that are. If she's taking her medication, she's fine. Even if she is a little more manic and she's not taking it, this is her fucking money to spend.
Absolutely.
We don't give a fuck about people with mental health issues unless money's attached to them. Go look down there in Skid Row. They're all down there.
They're all down
we
there.
don't give a fuck about them because they're poor. And now this one with money, who's basically a money train to everybody, they're like, oh, we care so much. We need to do that. But let me tell you something. If somebody's really mentally unstable and you're saying, okay, you're going to do these shows, you're going to sign these contracts, you're going to work 10 to 12 hours a day, or you're not going to see your kids, and you're not going to see your boyfriend. Somebody who is really mentally, they're not even going to give a fuck. They're going to be like, fuck you. You know what I mean? You're not going to get them to focus for that many hours.
She was a workaholic.
Exactly. You can't. She's going to always be quirky. Quirky and all that doesn't mean mentally deranged. It doesn't mean that. She's silly. She's goofy. She lost most of her childhood. So,
like Michael Jackson.
Yeah. If somebody wants to have that energy, let them have it. And also, I saw a lot of people, because she posted nude photos of herself when she flew out to Florida.
I didn't see those.
She was covered. She wasn't fully nude. She put little flowers over her boobs and over her private areas. But
so you couldn't see the sag vag.
No, you couldn't see it. And she highly she photoshopped them but she did it in a funny way where the tub and everything was all distorted. And she made a joke these are not photoshopped. I look like this, you know what I mean? Just stuff like that. But everybody was like, oh my God, see, she's mentally ill, all this stuff. And I just want to say, for one, just because a woman decides to show her body does not mean she's mentally ill.
That's right.
We need to change that narrative. People that want to embrace their bodies, we're born new. If people want to do that, that's their prerogative. And you know what? She's been feeling like she's in a prison. That was her making her freedom.
Let her go. Let her release.
You know what I mean? But I always see that because obviously I work in the adult industry, and a lot of the models that I work with, I hear a lot of people talking about them when I'm either at consumer shows or just when people know what I do. They're like, so what happened to her? Does she have a mental health disorder? It's always that. And it's like, no, that's not. These people that are top in the industry, they are very business savvy people. This is what they like. They got the support of their family. Some of them don't, but you can't make it that big and be a hot mess. If somebody does come in to the industry for the wrong reasons and they're self-medicating and they will not last. They're gonna, you know what I mean? It's not that kind of place. And I think, but I always think when it involves women's bodies, anytime a woman embraces her sexuality, it's something's wrong with her. And it's just.
But sometimes it's just they have beautiful bodies. They're built right, and they're not afraid to flaunt it. They're not afraid to show it. And I think they should. I absolutely. There's no shame in that. I don't think. And the woman's body is to me, the most beautiful thing on the planet Earth. The woman's body.
I agree.
So ladies, if you're proud of it, empower yourselves and get out there and show what you got.
Exactly.
We'll watch. Everybody will watch.
Do what you want to do.
But I think Brittany, going back to Brittany, I think her, if there is mental health issues, I think a lot of it is driven by missing her childhood, one, right? She missed a lot of her childhood. She was working as a child star. But two, the pressures of being a celebrity take a toll on everybody who's a celebrity. Pressure burst pipe. These people crack under the scrutiny of the media. That's real.
Yeah, no, 100%. But she was diagnosed bipolar, and she did talk about that. She said back then when she had shaved her head and everything, she was saying, I guess she wasn't diagnosed then yet, but she was taking Adderall, which bipolar, you have episodes of mania, and Adderall is a stimulant and upper. So she was already, that's why she was much more manic than she was. And she said the whole divorce thing from Kevin and then the fight for her kids and feeling like she had no support just pushed her over the edge. And she goes, I had a moment. I've been fucking perfect my whole life, and I had a moment, and because of a moment, this lasted 13 years.
Scrutiny.
And she goes, I am bipolar, and I do take medicine for it. But she goes, when I didn't listen to my dad and stuff like that, what came out in the courts was they would threaten her with stronger drugs. They would make her take the stronger drugs on her day off. There's many different bipolar drugs, and I like I said, I work with bipolar people, and they tell me about some of them that make you loopy and this and that. And her dad made her take that in 2019 when she was finally like, I'm done. Like, they put her on a stronger drug again. And then here she is on Instagram looking loopy and stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, they're highly medicating her. She already has a fun personality, but they're highly medicating her, more medication than she needs to take. So I don't know. It just,
well, they got to keep the money train going, and that's the thing. That's the scary
well,
part is they got to push. Yeah, they got to push the horse. You know, which is scary. I think that's scary, and I think a lot of it is induced by the paparazzi, by your name out there in the media, and the psychosomatics of seeing your name in the tabloids.
Well, you know what it
and
reminded
lies.
me of a little bit, with the paparazzi, the way they are with her. It was similar to how they were with like Princess Diana. Like they had an obsession, and they didn't have the right security and Princess Diana and Britney, what they had in common is they were at a point where they just wanted to be regular people, and they were trying.
Yeah.
Which they shouldn't
have frustrating.
done, because even Princess Diana, she got groomed to be with I think maybe she was like 16 when she met him. So she got pulled, and they cherry picked her because they didn't want their son with this woman, this older woman. So they were like, this is who you're going to be with. And she got pulled into a whirlwind, and then she finally found herself and just wanted to live a little. And it was just like they were everywhere. And Britney was the same way. She was like, I'm taking a break. I'm going to try to live. You can't. Like, these people, everybody's like, Hollywood's obsessed with her. She would need to be out in Montana or something. You know what I mean?
She's gorgeous.
In the mountains, like.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. She's built right, and you remind me of K-Fed. Look, Brittany. Look, if you like white rappers, hey, I'm better than K-Fed. I'll tell you that right now.
A rapper.
He did. He rapped. He put out a record. I remember. He put out a record. K-Fed.
I didn't hear it, so it must have been trash.
Yeah, it was garbage. But look, Brittany, I'm legit.
Excuse me. She is with this guy Sam, who's a very
Sam?
sexy guy.
Some guy saw Sam.
Well, that's probably not his full name. He's Persian, but he goes by Sam. So
Look,
I don't know what his. But
Brittany,
Brittany,
tell
a fine
Sam.
Ass Persian dude.
Tell Sam to scram if you want a real white rapper. I'm right here. Right here.
They just got engaged, by the way.
Those never last.
I don't know about this.
No, I hope she does. I hope it all works out. I'm pro love. Get yours in, Sam. Get yours in, big dog. Okay, so sex in public. So she speaking. Let's transition. She had these nudes. Sex in public. What do you think about it? Is it worth the risk?
I'm gonna say I would say no. I feel like if you're out in a place, like if I'm up in Big Bear and I have an amazing cabin and like it's kind of private, then absolutely.
Oh,
but to just be having sex at you're in Santa Monica and you're like, oh, we're right here on the strip. Let's go in this alleyway and just get it on right here while people are walking by. No, I don't think so. I mean, the fact that you can end up on the pedophile list.
You can, absolutely.
I'm all set. I'll be like, let's get home.
Yeah. No, I'm in 100% agreement with you. Worth the risk. If you get listed as a sex offender, if something happens, your life is ruined. So don't do it unless like you said, you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're out hiking or whatever.
We're all a little guilty of it. I mean, I think I've hooked up on a beach and in a car, and it probably wasn't super private, but I think I was like, I don't know. This was in my early 20s, so like.
So just last week.
Yeah, funny. But yeah, no, I definitely am like, I wouldn't do it now. I didn't even know about all that other stuff. And this wasn't even early. This probably had to be like 2019, 21. Like, when you have roommates and like, you're trying to be, but you don't think about that type of stuff. I didn't realize that you could be charged with something if you're close enough to a school. If somebody can testify that, like, a kid walked by your car, you know what I mean? And then you're just like,
oh, yeah, you're
fuck.
toast. You're toast. Can I tell you a story? So I was at my college, and I'm in the car. I had a Scion at the time, and the windows are fogged up. I'm going at it in the back, and I had it laid down because I could put my turntables in there. I had a cool little setup, and I'm stroking, and there's a knock on the window. My heart drops.
Oh my God,
Windows, I can't even see out because of the fog, right? And and so the cop's there. The first question he asked, he said, "Is he raping you?"
Holy shit!
And my heart was, I was already sick to my stomach.
Were you?
I'm in college.
Oh my
right?
God, I would die.
And she said, no, this is all consensual. She said the right thing. If she would have fucked up and said the wrong thing, I would have been in handcuffs. But and I said, oh look, I apologize. We just got carried away. We were kissing and we just got carried away. Sorry about it. We're just school kids,
Yeah.
And he let us fly. But that was the first question he asked, and that was.
What area was this in?
This was in Northridge.
Oh, damn.
Which is the porn capital of the world, practically. Chatsworth is right there, so maybe we got a little bit of
yeah, he was
forgiveness
probably
there.
like,
If we're in,
probably like, is this a scene? Where's the camera in the car? Like, he's probably setting you up.
Yeah, exactly. But that was scary because you can get, indecent exposure or in front of a minor. You're done. You have to register as a sex offender for the rest of your life. So no, I don't think it's worth it. I agree 1,000% with you.
I mean, but you have like, a lot of people obviously fantasize about this type of stuff. So it's like, how do you fulfill the fantasy? I'm once again gonna say, go rent something where it's a little excluded and fuck outside all day. I saw a little tree house up in Topanga. Shit was so cool, and it's super like indoor outdoor. It's mainly your outdoor living. But the bed is closed off on the inside, but you can open the doors. But like do stuff like that. I would not risk it unless you live in the boondocks or whatever. Yeah. Then you're probably safe to do whatever the fuck you want. But
did you hear about those two people that were arrested they were content creators, and they got arrested on the side of the freeway? Did you hear about that?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they were having sex on the side of the freeway trying to get a shot for their site. I think it might have been for ItsMii. It might have been for ItsMii.com, but they were
probably.
They were taking
big risks.
Yeah, taking big risks, and they got arrested. I mean, you don't play around, kids out there. Sex is cool, but you can't do it in front of people.
I think people see these. There's sites called like Fake Taxi, and
I've seen
another
one.
one called Bang Bus. I think it's right.
Bang
where
Bus?
People like it's a car, and people get in and
But they're filming. It's for content.
Filmed. Yeah, it's for content. And I mean, you can get your fantasy filled that way. But these things are done in a very secured location. They're not just, even though they're pushing the illusion of, oh my God, we're right here, on the Miami Strip, in Miami on the beach. They're not. Like, they'll make it appear that way, and then it cuts to somewhere else because, it's not really worth it. Like, that's crazy that hopefully they don't get, the book thrown at them for
indecent exposure.
People do anything for content nowadays, though. Like, I shouldn't be fucking surprised. Like, people would fucking, somebody would get pregnant just for content. Like, I can see people starting to do that now. Like, you know what? I need something to record. I need something that's gonna shock my audience. So let me just, let's do this. Gonna
and
like whatever.
That's attention seeking, and that's what I think a lot of these things are creating is attention seeking behavior. But if you can turn that into money, it's huge.
Very, very true. But be smart about it. Create the illusion. Do not actually really do certain things. It's like when I see people dying because they climb on like a cliff to do something. if you don't Photoshop a damn video and put yourself in it and make it seem like you're on that cliff. I saw a video of this Asian girl who fucking, her last thing was her head. Like she fell. I mean, they stopped the video before then. But it's not worth it. She just needed it. She had a big following. I mean, come on, people. Like, I mean,
don't push the envelope too
yeah,
far.
there's Photoshop. There's all these apps. You don't really have to go to the cliff. Just take a cute picture of yourself and place yourself in there, and then post it.
But you can make,
or rent the fake jet.
You can make a ton of money. It's crazy. That's why they're doing it. That's why they're pushing the envelope. Because I mean, even on ItsMii.com, you can make 20, 30 grand a month just on content.
100%.
Just selling your content.
100%. I get it, but you don't have to. It's like somebody actually really chartering a jet for their content when there's places you can go to these websites where they have something that looks like a jet and you're in it and can take pictures, and then you spend maybe $250 for the hour as opposed to you trying to really rent a jet, and then you're like, fuck, I hope these endorsements come. You know what I mean? Like, come on, people. Make it make sense. Work smarter, not harder. That's what I always say.
So have you what kind of content have you created while we're here?
None.
You keep your content to yourself. You keep it personal.
Yes.
That's right. Okay.
For me and mine. I know you're the content creator. I'm gonna leave it to you. All that to you.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get one of those fleshlights. Give me one of those fleshlights. I'll make a content. I'll make content right now.
First of all, I'm way too engulfed in this industry to ever do anything like that. And not only that, even before I was, that's just not my calling, like at all. Like I yeah, but you're beautiful though. You got it going on. It has nothing to do with that. It's just not my calling. Like for one, I mean, power to the girls that deal with all these like men all the time. I don't like most men, so I could not. Men are scum. I would be. God, like I'm always like power to you because I could not. I don't have the well, okay. I don't have it in me. I'm like to be flirting and doing all that. I'm just like
you can't be phony on camera. You can't make it.
I mean, I did it as a waiter and a bartender, but I just know there for me. I still have my I do it in certain scenarios, but it's just not my thing. It never really has been, but for the people that do it, that are good at it, everyth's not for everybody. Just That's like right. I had certain friends that came in when I used to bartend, and they were like watching me. They were like, I could never do this. They were like, you are running around like a fucking chicken that's got its head cut off. And you're talking to people and you're like, hey, what's up, man? Like, but you're making drinks and you're washing a dish. They were like, too much is going on. Like, I could never, like, my brain couldn't handle that. But not every job is for everybody. So you got to know what works for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, but that's.
Could you do it?
Absolutely. I'll do it. I have so much content. I have so much content musically. I have. And
I mean, I do content, but like privately.
Well, hey, we got to see some of that. Leak some of that on ItsMii.
Never.
But the content is where it's at.
Behind the scenes.
That's right.
I like to be behind the scenes. I'm a control freak too.
Okay, well I'll let you direct one of mine. But it's interesting.
I know you. I mean, I don't know. I would have to think about that. That's weird, but it's somebody You can just like.
You can give me all the sex toys. We'll figure it out. We'll work it out.
I could write out the scene. And then I would hand it to you and be like, "This is what you're gonna do, man. Good luck."
Okay, I execute.
Set the lighting.
I'm like a sex Olympian. I execute anything written down. But it's interesting though. Content is the king. Like that's how society's 100%. Going. So what do you know about the NFTs? Because that seems like that's where we're headed.
To me right now, I'm not on the train.
Okay.
Of it. It doesn't really make sense to me. It seems like this really could only work for somebody who's really famous.
Okay.
I don't see how this benefits the everyday person. I don't see like even in the sex industry. I don't see like a bunch of cam girls jumping on that. Like, yeah, if it's the top girl, if it's like a Riley Reid and she has an NFT, yeah, maybe. But at the end of the day, this isn't like a tangible item either. Like, it's like when you think of like a painting, when it's the original. There's factors for that. This just seems a little murky. It's so hard to control how something's shared online.
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough.
It just doesn't make sense to me. But but they got the hype there, and a lot of people are on the fucking bandwagon, so that's cool. But like, yeah, I just don't get it. I don't know how this is something great for the masses. It seems more like how you would like what a Bentley is. Only few people get a Bentley.
But
okay,
but like with the Bentley,
what am I gonna do with this? I can't get that yet.
That's right.
I'm not a part of this. Like.
But the Bentley owns that symbol. They own the likeness. They own the image of the Bentley. Nobody can copy that. Nobody can do that. And so that's what I think these artists are doing with the NFTs is they're staking claim on their own images, or people are buying their own images or their art or their music, just like how Michael Jackson bought up Eminem's music.
Yeah, but you're talking about big
the
people.
Beatles.
You're saying Michael Jackson. We're saying Bentley. How is some average person going to control what is happening? Michael Jackson had a team. Bentley is a fucking huge business. Like, so they're like, if somebody's doing something, they're going to know about how the fuck is this one person over here, Joe Schmo, going to know what the fuck's going on.
But if you're a content creator and you believe in yourself, you might want to invest in those royalties, for lack of a better word.
I mean, it's a good way to sucker some people in that think that, hey, you're gonna make it big one day. Yeah, come in and get an NFT. But honestly, I would only do that once I was big. Then okay, I'm Kim Kardashian. You want this bitch for $3 million? It's me high-fiving Kanye. You ain't gonna find it nowhere else. Okay, fine.
Yeah, you sell that, and so
but
the artist has power.
Why anybody that's not a huge it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I hear you. Because
I wouldn't even waste my time with it until I got there. But I can see NFT using that sales pitch, like, you about to get there, get your NFT. Like, nah, bitch. Like, let me. I just, to me, it just doesn't make sense. I wouldn't even. If I was managing somebody, that would be the least of my worries.
But see, you might want to buy if you believed in somebody, you might want to buy their NFTs while it's cheap before they blow up.
Then it just becomes a gambling game. So if you're a gambling addict, jump your ass in there and be like, Susan might be big tomorrow. Kelly might be, go ahead. She's the next up and if you want to do that, jump. But is this Joe Schmo really going to control that?
Well, it's just like the stock market. If it goes up, you're betting on the stock market. You're betting on the crypto.
But I feel like a lot of that is bullshit, and the market is controlled by so many people. I mean, if you have a lot of money and you're in stocks, it's a different game. But a lot of it's bullshit to me, and like I don't know. I get it. If you're a gambling person, sure, but I don't understand. Even if you are a gambling person and you're on the lower end and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get this. Emily Willis is gonna be big someday. Like. How I just don't even see that person even being able to control the spread of whatever.
Well, think about it like this. Let's say like there's a new show called Squid Games, right? So let's say I somehow got in some NFTs of the stars, the actors, or their sound bites, or I bought some of their pictures or whatever, and I bought some NFT into that Squid Game and then explode.
What did I just say to you?
It's a gamble. You're saying it's a gamble.
Fucking gamble. I'm not a gambler. To me, it's a waste of goddamn time. Unless I really see, Did
you like the Squid Games?
I loved it. But
Tell me what you liked about it.
But let me just say this. Gambling is fucking stupid. Like, I know people that are addicted to this shit. I was fucking engaged to a guy that was addicted to this shit. And when the online gambling was still... we were still able to do it. I remember once he got up to like 20 grand and he just could not stop. No, he couldn't stop. It wasn't nice. He lost it all. I was like, walk away. He was like, oh no, I'm lucky. I'm like,
it's just like drugs. It's just like drugs or
You're
alcohol. People get addicted.
I know, but when I used to work with people, they loved going to the casinos and it's like zombies in there. Like, I only really roll dice when I really know the odds are in my favor. If I don't, I would never. I don't give my money. I don't. It's not worth it for me unless I really know the odds are in my favor. Unless I like stocks. Is it worth it if I? It depends on how much money I have and what type of like if I'm putting it into a certain type of account where it's big stuff and I'm gonna give 80,000 to this account. It's with all the big stuff and I'm just gonna leave
Mutual
it there
funds,
for 30 years and it's gonna whatever. Sure. Is that a gamble? A good gamble? Yes.
It's safer.
Yes. But this other stuff, like to me, that's not how I'm gonna make my money. If people think that's how they're gonna make their money,
well, tell
good
me
luck.
tell me the next big porn star so I can buy some of her NFTs.
I don't know off the top of my head, honestly. I'm trying to think. I don't. I can't.
You can't disclose it, or you won't disclose it.
I can't think off the top of my head. Well, and I don't even want to disclose it because I don't want. Because usually we sign the next big porn star, so maybe I
you want to keep them to yourself.
Yeah,
Just
I'll
like
tell
you would
off
if
camera. I'll tell you off
Okay.
camera.
So tell me about the Squid Games. That's big right now. I saw the first episode. I understand the premise.
Yeah.
But what's
I
the
can't believe you
hype?
only saw the first episode. Why'd you stop?
Like, I'm busy. I'm a busy
You
man.
make time for the things you want. We talked about this. You make time for the things that you want to make time for. We've talked about.
Yeah, but I'm out the door at 5:30 every morning and get home
Stay
at 9.
up late.
Oh,
You gotta
man.
get through it, man. You know how many times I stayed up late to watch a show, read a book? I've been like, oh God, gotta get through this. I do it all the time. Just take some espresso shots in the morning. But Squid Games, it was fantastic. And I liked the story about the guy that wrote it because he wrote it, I think, 10 years ago and was going to every network. And, of course, was getting turned down because it was an, mostly Asian movie. The U.S. isn't going to take that. They don't want to produce an Asian movie. This is why I love fucking Netflix because Netflix...
They take a chance.
It doesn't matter if it's Asian, Black, Indian, gay, trans. There's this family on there that was like Orthodox Jew, but now the mom is like not anymore, and the dad. It's like they have it all, and I'm so blown away by just like it just is like this immersion of like culture and ethnicities, and you get a little bit of everything. You see different stars on different ones.
Oh, they won with Dave Chappelle.
I haven't
Netflix.
watched it yet, but
Yeah, Dave's a genius, and they took a gamble on Dave, gave him a big chunk of money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's always been fucking hilarious.
He's the man.
But yeah, Squid Games when the guy finally got picked up by obviously Netflix, but it was an amazing show. It kind of gave me like Hunger Games meets like what's that thing that Brad Pitt was in when
Eyes Wide Shut?
No, the one where he was like the
Or no.
really sexy like guy back in the like
Legend of the Fall?
1300s.
Legend of the Fall?
No, where he was like the on the couch.
Oh, Troy. Yeah, that's
it was like Hunger
Yeah.
Games meets Troy or something like that. Because it was like very like it was kind of gory. Some of the shit I was like, yo, man, you haven't watched it all. I was like, yo, this is some fucking. But they were playing like kid games. Like the first game they play is like hide and go seek. No, not hide and go seek. Wait, what's that game where I'm forgetting it now? It's like you turn your back and you go, okay, red light, green light.
That's a
There we
great
go.
game.
Sorry,
That's a great
I almost
game.
forgot it.
Yeah, red light, green light, classic.
And it's like this little like computer head, and it's like it looks like a little girl, and she's like, okay, when I say green light, you run, and when I say red light, stop, and whoever doesn't stop, they just like bullets come at them.
Yikes.
And that was the first competition. And so a lot of people got scared when they saw somebody got shot and they start running. So she turns around, her eyes start rolling. She just blowing bullets. People are like, "Burr!" They just going out. Some people are on the floor. It was like a massacre. It was super crazy. But the premise of it is that, it's people that are in dire need of stuff. They're like,
What they're willing to do.
Yeah, what they're willing to do for money. And the crazy thing about the story is they actually let everybody go. There's a clause in the game whereas if you say, I want, if everybody says like, I want out, everybody has to vote that. No. Wait, not everybody. They do a double vote. And if more votes are I want out, then they let everybody out. So they let everybody out and then everybody went back to their miserable lives.
Yeah.
Poor, living on the street, some people dying of disease and this and that, and like,
So missed opportunity.
They ended up coming back to finish the games, and it was so brutal. I mean, like, people were dying left and right, and characters that you didn't think were gonna die. It was horrible.
So I got to finish that one. That one's the one.
Yeah, it was really good, but it was just showing what people would do for money, and even like the head person of the games, like, spoiler alert, like, there's this guy in the movie who sneaks in to be one of the guards, like one of the game makers, and he's trying to avenge his brother. Is his main thing. He kills a few people, and they realize that there's a mole so their whole thing is finding this guy, and he's getting evidence of this place because he's actually a cop and he wants to shut it down. And he actually gets somewhat away, and he's trying to send all the evidence, but he doesn't have like service. Obviously, he's like, they're out in the middle of nowhere. So, but he ends up getting caught by them, and the guy that's like, hey, wait there, he pulls off his mask. It's his brother. And he was killing people thinking somebody killed his brother.
But his brother was running it.
And his brother just shot him in the head because, this is his money thing.
Yeah.
And he couldn't trust that he couldn't bring him in, but he was just like, he was like, you gotta go. It was like, what's that movie with the black brothers? It came out in the early 90s. My brother is my keeper. Remember? What is it? The two black guys.
Jason's Lyric.
Wesley Snipes and...
Oh, not Boys in the Hood. It was New Jack City.
Yeah.
With, Nino Brown.
My brother is my keeper. Yeah. He's like... that's what I felt. I was like, holy shit. I was like...
I got iced tea on my shirt right now. And he was in that movie.
Oh, what? Oh, he was.
He was in that movie. Oh, my God. Yeah.
It was the moment. That's exactly what came to my mind when I was watching that very moment. I was like, shit. Haven't seen that type of moment in a while. But it was a very dark movie because the guy...
Yeah, that first episode made me depressed. I was depressed the whole thing.
Well, even the guy that... I'm giving you all the spoilers, but it's good. Whatever. You're going to still watch it. But the guy that ends up winning, it's like the moral of the story is like, if you're not happy with yourself too, you're not going to be happy with the money. And he was not happy with the risk that he took for the money. Like he ended up leaving his mother needed surgery. He ended up leaving her, and she ended up like dying in the house because she had illnesses, and he should have just stayed with her those days. She needed assistance, but he said to get money, and then, she was dead by the time he came back. She died alone in the house. But he was miserable afterwards, and he didn't think that it was worth taking lives for fucking money, which, there's a bigger story to that. A lot of companies, even if you think about the world we live in, I mean, we think of even like the food industry, pharmaceutical, whatever, like America was built off of like everything's about money. It's all about the dollar.
True.
Humanity is last. That and you can see it all over the. You know what I mean?
Capitalism.
People are acting like that's new with COVID, and that's where I'm like, what are you talking about?
COVID's part of capitalism,
and this has been happening, and I'm like, sweetie, this has been going on. Like everything you're talking about is an illusion.
COVID is definitely part of capitalism. It's supply and demand, and
even if something, even with COVID, even if it didn't start like that, the thing is, it ends up like that.
Of course, people are smart. They turn situation into business.
Exactly. So you have to. That's always going to be the situation. Like you have to think like. America was built off of like when people were in when mostly like other ethnicities were in their lands, like even like white people being in Europe, it was like caste systems there. There's caste systems in India. There's caste, you know what I mean?
There kind of is here too.
Yeah,
think about it.
But my point is, you couldn't back then. It didn't matter. You would be working all the time, and you could never move up because you didn't have royal blood.
Right.
America was supposed to be. It was.
They suppress us too. There's a bubble. There's a glass ceiling here too.
I'm saying this is why was the illusion that was created. America, land of the free.
Part of the bullshit.
Yeah. It's the marketing.
The rhetoric.
Yeah, exactly. And so people have this illusion that like where they're like even like, oh, I have to wear a mask, my freedom. And I'm like, bitch, you have rules all around you.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? This isn't the first rule.
Yeah, you.
Like I'm just like,
blows
hello.
people,
Like,
when I bring up that you have to pay taxes on your everything you buy, everything you make, your house, you have to pay taxes everywhere. You're paying tribute, because they're pimping you.
Exactly.
There's a caste system, but it's really the rich 1% versus everybody else.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's the caste system here in America, and it's the venture capitalists, the people who are running these business, but they see an opportunity and then they exploit it and turn it into money.
Yeah.
Which I can't be mad at. I get it. I wish I had the resources to do that.
No, I mean,
but I don't, because I'm not in that.
I really try to. I'm a spiritual person. I'm also, obviously, I do love money too. I really always have to check myself with stuff like that, because then you even look at stuff like the food industry, and you look at like, you go to Italy, people are eating pasta all the time. They're not obese, right?
Because it's better.
But
prepared.
it's not mass production out there like it is here. They're not cutting corners, throwing this and that and
wax.
this and that. So nobody gives a fuck about we don't give a fuck about the longevity of like a person's health, the planet, the animals, nothing. Like, because at the end of the day, the mighty dollar speaks more than anything else. And it's hard. Power is like a disease, even when you have the best intentions, and somebody can. You get that power. You get in the group. It'll change you. What was that book we all had to read in like
Lord of the Flies?
Yeah. And
how did I know you were thinking of Lord of the Flies?
I was like, you're
synergy.
We're in sync right now. So that book cracked me up because it was one of my first. I think I read it in elementary school, and it's like everybody. You see it all the time. It never ends. Like,
it's always politics. There's politics everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. That's why I love when people are like, "Oh, we don't do politics, bitch. You can't not do politics.
You're in it
it's
right now.
It's happening everywhere. It affects your life. Shut the fuck up. You can't not do it. This whole like, we'll be polite, not talk about it. You still talking about it by
That's
doing
part
that.
of it. That's
and
part
you
of
saying,
it.
bitch, I'm so rich it don't affect me, or I have this privilege so it don't affect me. You're saying something when you say that as well. So people, stop with the bullshit. Like, just say like it ain't my problem because I'm this bitch. You know what I mean? Just say that. I respect that more than I don't do this. You know what I mean? Like that good Southern polite shit. I don't like it. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely I digress on that. I'm gonna just digress.
No, it's true though, because look, we're all in this game. We're all in this game. And we're all trying to play. We're all trying to win in our certain levels, and we have to play. We have to play certain roles whenever we go in our families, whenever we go in our schools, whenever we go in our workplace. We have to play these certain roles, and so that's where our weight is. That's where we have to decide what type of person we're going to be. And I think it shows in the long run. So the rich 1%, when they're in their roles, they're going to always skew towards them benefiting financially, fiscally, and the artists are always going to kind of gear their politics to that.
We're in I always say this: we are in an individualistic society.
Absolutely.
Where it's everybody for themselves. That's why even having like a pandemic or any type of situation, you can never get everybody on the same page in individualistic societies. You just can't do it.
Right.
It just won't work. Where everybody's out for themselves or for their group and even sometimes they'll kick their group to the side when they realize they can get something else. It's unfortunate because I think humanity is gonna get a huge kick in the ass.
It happens in music industry too. For me, like, look, I built this young, I'm not gonna say his name, but I built this young rapper up. I produced his full first album, put him on shows, booked all his shows, made 3 projects for him, and he blew up. And then he forgot about Uncle Jesse. He forgot about Uncle Jesse, who did the artist development and built him up. And I did it for free on the strength because I believed in him. He was a young kid. And, and then he turns his back on me. But what can you do? That's how it is.
That's how a lot of people.
It's individualistic. People. It's not a collectivist. Like Mexico is a collectivist society, and they're.
I think Vietnam is kind of like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
like certain areas. No,
You play your
Taiwan
role.
is like
You
that.
play your
Taiwan
role.
is like that. I think that I'm saying it right. Taiwan, right?
Taiwan and
Yeah. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
like, sorry. I'm like,
Japan.
just want to make sure I'm saying. Yeah. No, is Taiwan's not in Japan? It's its own little place. But yeah, I think it's because I have a friend who's Taiwanese, so I just wanted to make sure I said it right. But I know they're like a collective. They all
Yeah,
work
it's
very
important.
well together. But we just weren't. There's so much propaganda to make people hate other people and this and that. Like we just weren't built on I mean, when people first got here, they handed out flea blankets to kill off the native. I mean, it's and in a playful way. Oh, we want to keep you warm. It's never been like.
Don't trust the
Never,
government.
yeah.
Don't trust the government,
It's never
kids.
been like safe like for a lot. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I think a lot's gonna happen this decade. So
Yikes!
stay tuned, people, because we'll be talking about it.
Yeah, It's Me will be here for you. We will do our research to the best of our abilities and bring you the truth as we see it.
Yeah, and give our theories and our opinions, because I love to share. But I think we're gonna wrap it up there.
That's right.
So thanks for listening to us, and catch your favorite content creator on itsme.com.